Hi, so I have decided to create a series that really brings the tarot and the spiritual and the esoteric stuff kind of back down to earth. And I really want to get some guidance from spirit on the very real human emotions that we're all going through during this time. I asked if there was a timeline to include this because I kind of thought, well, maybe it can go forever, and then I was like, well, but things are changing, and it was very specific, and I asked over and over and over again. I heard it, I saw it in my mind's eye. It is from 416 to 516, and it is okay that there's some, kind of leading up period, and some after that, but it seems that there's something about that time frame where these emotions, and I listed 10. I mean, I'm already feeling many of them, as are my clients, and I'm sure we're all moving in and out of them. But there's something about, I don't know what it is, why those 416, that's kind of interesting, to 516. But okay, so this is about feeling overwhelmed or anxious. If you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, what can Spirit tell us about that? What is going on? What's this overwhelm and anxiety? Okay, it's about work. It's about work. It may be about, what are you going to do for work? It could be, how am I going to work? It could be that you are working, like the process of working, and this could be okay. There are many people out there who are on the front lines that are working tirelessly. I mean, it's the work that is the thing, right? And it's also a calling and something that they've all been passionate about, and yet, if we look at the doctors and the nurses and the people that do not have the tools and the things that they need to do the job that they've been trained to do, some of them working in ways that they haven't been trained to do, but they're there to help out. Or there's a potential maybe at around 416 through 516 that we are going to be calling on, people who are in those fields but don't necessarily normally do this type of critical emergency care. That there could be just one, of course, a sense of exhaustion and being tired and overwhelmed, but also an internal conflict, and it would make sense, wouldn't it? Leaving families behind, wondering if they're putting themselves in jeopardy, or their families in jeopardy health-wise or even financially. I mean, can you imagine being the breadwinner, and let's say you have a family of 4 and you are a doctor working 110 hours a week, and your life may suddenly be one of the statistics and you leave behind your family, I mean, that has to weigh on a person. And so I don't know, I think as I see that this 5 of Wands on the bottom, like just a lot of conflict here. And it could be conflict also in how to do the work, how to get the work done in these times. Doesn't have to be out and out fighting, but certainly as we move through these changing times, but then we've got the moon underneath that, which, can point to hidden things that need to come to light. Maybe as you're working and doing the best that you can, maybe there's a part of you that is wondering if there's something lurking beneath all of this, so we don't know or understand. And so, if you just get that sense that you're just working, you can't figure out, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the way to approach it? Whatever that work is. What's sticking out to me today is his red tights, which is leading me to the root chakra, which is really about survival. Can I pay my bills? Can I provide for myself and my family? Am I capable of living doing this? Or where is my job? So of course, when we're dealing with that, root chakra issues, survival of the self, survival of the tribe, we're going to feel anxious and certainly overwhelmed, especially if we don't know what hasn't been revealed, or what else is out there. So what can you do? What can you do? Some guidance. What can you do to move through this? Overwhelm. And the number 8 for me is always, as above, so below. There's we've gone through this before. What comes around goes around kind of quality to it, and could be from the distant past, past lives, all of that stuff, or maybe you've gone through this before, like in 2008, or between 2007 2009 and all of that business. Who knows? Could be a desire to get work, but unsure, like, what to do. This internal conflict, like, should I go and get a job? They're hiring in Amazon, they're hiring at the grocery stores, let's just say, and you recognize, yeah, but that puts me in the front line, and I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I should leave my family. I don't know, what's that gonna mean for me, and my safety. And there's nothing, wrong with those thoughts and those feelings and that ambivalence. Nothing wrong with that at all. But that certainly can lead to those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. You know, anxiety is like bottom of the deck, you know, juggling two options, is, you know, when I'm working with clients as a counselor, we talk about, you know, when the life force, or when you want to move towards something, but there are forces that are stopping you from moving in that direction, whether it's, you know, things you've been told by your parents, or, you know, cultural expectations, or physical limitations, or whatever, you know, and you can't move in the direction that you want to. It feels like this, you know, in the body, it feels like that in the brain, right? And so I'm going to get a clarifier on this, but this to me looks like go for it. Just go, do, take an action step. You might not even maybe just don't even think about it. Do what you have to do right now. You know, there is healing, victory, potentially some heartbreak and disappointment. But you know, sometimes the choices that we have, none of them, they wouldn't have been our choice, but whatever we're handed, the deck that we're handed, we have to play something. And, you know, if we're talking about food on the table, bills to be paid, sometimes we just have to do what we have to do. And sometimes it's, you know, just moving towards something. You might not even end up doing that thing, but you put the wheels in motion for, you know, the universe to say, okay, well, they're looking for a job, and maybe they're not going to do this, but somehow they're going to get connected to this other thing, right? I don't know. I'm going to get a clarifier for that. Knight of Wands. Shuffling them upside down. Okay, why is the Knight of Wands here for the action? It's kind of like it might be time to move, even though you're not 100% clear on what it is that you're moving towards or that you need to do. It might feel very foreign. It might feel very yeah, I think it's gonna feel, so this kind of came out kind of upside down, or in reverse. So I flipped it over. In either way you look at it, we're looking at Wands. And what I want to say is trust. Oh, and then you got Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of this deck. So you've got Eight of Pentacles here, and then Eight of Pentacles here, healing. I think that you can take a step, go do anything, right? If there's a threat of being able to pay your bills or what have you, just go ahead and take those action steps, and trust that even if it feels foreign, even if it's like something you've never done before, you have no idea, but you're just going towards it, that I think it looks to me like you're going to find work. It's going to be okay. But you really have to sit in a position, a space of trusting in it. And I think because it came up in the reverse, that you're not in that space, which is creating that sense of anxiety, that you might be trying to think too much on how this can all work out and happen. And I think you need to trust in life, that if you take that action step, it's something is going to show up that's going to be right for you. And your anxiety is absolutely understandable. Okay, so potential outcome. It's too many. No, it's only 4. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have an inspiration, some kind of an idea, or something is going to come across your mind or your plate, and it may lead you to thinking about many, other options or potentialities. And I think you are going to have to let go of something, maybe some of the ideas, and you're going to have to, I think you're going to need to walk away, or towards something brand new. You're absolutely capable of being and creating a space of abundance in whatever that is. You may have like a lot of options, and maybe it's just time to go, okay, like I'm letting all these ones go. I'm going to pick this one and I'm moving towards it. Right? When there's too many options on the table, that can create anxiety and overwhelm. So if you get something inspired, or something comes to you, some sort of clarity, someone says something to you, and you go, wow, I was just thinking about that, and someone says it, you might really want to look at that and let go of all the other ideas and follow that path. It could be that your industry is going to go away as in the shape and form that you've known it so far. But that's okay. Keep walking towards what you want to create. You might, again, like I said, you might not have a real clear, what happened here, vision of what it looks like, but it can, there we go. Really, all of these? Okay. Oh, nice. All right. So we got, oh my God. I love it. You got Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. You got starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. I mean, come on. And beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. Gosh, how neat. Okay. Trust in divine detours. Starfish spirit, open to infinite possibilities. Yes, open up, trust, and then lay a solid foundation. All right. I'm going to read about just one of them, okay? We're going to look at beaver spirit here. Lay a solid foundation. Beaver spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create and lay a solid foundation for your dreams. If with spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. There you go. You will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful. Just go ahead and just take an action step with the twigs and the branches. Filled with love and joy and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful productive time. Have faith, for with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along with as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. So nice. Wow. So nice. Okay. And from the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, Kyle Gray. Well, all right. It just kind of flew out of my hand. Experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Paul the Venetian. Paul the Venetian. I don't know who Paul the Venetian is. Let's see. Paul the Venetian. Experiencing grace. Paul the Venetian is said to be the ascended form of Paolo Veronese, a famous artist of the Italian Renaissance. The Venetian refers to the fact that he was connected to Venice, Italy. It is believed that on his passing in 1588, he had the opportunity to help humanity by sharing his lifelong wisdom. He is the keeper of the light who helps us accept our talents and hone our skills so that we can share the beauty of our soul with the world. He brings waves of good energy, grace, and encouragement, and works with all artists, musicians, designers, and anyone else who needs support in channeling their talents. Whatever creative ideas you are having at this time, they are inspired by the divine. Remember this one? Inspired by the divine. The divine is reaching out with that idea, or giving someone a word that says, hey, what about that? That's from the divine. You may have felt blocked or held back in the past, but now it's time to recognize how talented you really are. Follow your bliss and share your grace. Your creativity is a gift to the world, and as you share it with all those around you, you make space in your heart for goodness to enter. Recognize your gifts today and express your creative self in a way that suits you. Can't make it up. And postcards from Spirit. Postcards from Spirit. Oh, Evans. No. Okay, 3 more, and then it said take up from the top. Okay. Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you, a story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. Experiencing grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it, so make sure they're stories you're proud of. Genuine Loving Fan Club. So again, I think if you can imagine another option, and it doesn't even have to have that full, complete picture, and how's it all going to turn out, and well, how will I do it? Just move in that direction, right? With courage and grace. It sounds like, and it looks like you're going to be able to create something that it's not going to be necessarily like easy, smooth, exact sailing, but you will create something that helps you to feel abundant and in the flow, and that you are a creator and you're co-creating. Okay, so honeybee, you are 100% supposed to be here along with all the rest of us. We're supposed to be collectively going through this together, and so I really do believe that the more we support each other and work not just in our own selfish ego interest, but to reflect on, what is going on here and how can I help the collective, even if it's by being at peace and creating something new that's never been before. I don't know why I just said that, but we need you. We're all in this together. Open to infinite possibility. That is gorgeous. And so is this. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. Okay. Thank you. Until next time.